One Piece chapter 1154 is finally here. And with it, two major new theories are starting to take shape. Let's talk about the biggest post-chapter 1154 theories right now. So let's get into it after the intro. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. With chapter 1154 now available to read, it's time to dive deep into some serious theorizing. But before we begin, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Now, let's get straight into it. What a chapter, right? So much information dropped and new theories are exploding everywhere. I'll be bringing you a bunch of them over the next few days, but today, let's focus on two that are gaining serious traction. Both revolve around Rox D. Xebec. As many of you know, after so many years, we finally got to see the leader of the Rox Pirates, the man who once led top-tier pirates like Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and others. And along with his appearance, a huge piece of information was revealed. Xebec is Blackbeard's father. This could potentially crush one of the most popular theories, that Xebec was actually Buggy's father. But that theory isn't dead. In fact, some believe it's stronger than ever. Why? Because just look at Xebec's eyes. They resemble Buggy's a lot. Not to mention his hair has two colors, one dark, the other light. Could that lighter color be blue? And that leads us to the first big theory of this chapter. If Buggy is Xebec's son, then does that make Marshall D. Teach's half-brother? That would be insane. And yes, this theory is already spreading like wildfire online. However, in my opinion, it's very unlikely to be true, because if it were, that would mean Buggy has a special lineage, just like we now know Blackbeard does. And if that's the case, does that mean Buggy could eat two devil fruits as well? Once again, even though the theory is growing fast, I personally don't buy into it. Unless Blackbeard's special trait doesn't come from his father, but instead comes from his mother. Just so you know, Oda actually had plans to create Blackbeard's mother. There's even a rough sketch of her. Maybe she'll still play an important role in the story, but what do you think? Do you believe this theory? Now let's move to the second theory, which is honestly even wilder, but it's catching fire and might become very popular soon. When Xebec arrived in the underworld, we saw a mountain being sliced in half, which is already an insane feat considering how massive those mountains are. Of course, this would suggest he's a swordsman. But what if Xebec was actually the former user of a very famous devil fruit? I'm talking about the Op no Mi, the Operation Fruit, the same one currently used by Trafalgar Law. But why, you ask? Just because he cut a mountain? Well, no. The theory comes from the hand gesture Xebec makes in that scene. It's strikingly similar to the exact same motion that Law does when activating Room. So according to this theory, he was using Room at that moment, and that's how the mountain got sliced. Again, I personally don't believe this theory either. One reason is Blackbeard has never shown interest in that fruit. Remember, when he defeated Law, he didn't seem at all concerned with the Op no Mi. How is that possible? Wouldn't he be more curious about a fruit that once belonged to his own father? After all, it's clear that Blackbeard admires Xebec. He even named his ship after the legendary Rox Pirates. So those are the two biggest theories sparked by this chapter. One is an upgraded version of an old theory, that Buggy is Xebec's son and possibly Blackbeard's half-brother. The other is that Xebec used to be the user of the Op no Mi. Do you believe any of these? Or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Sikize.